The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Hi guys, welcome to the Real Talk episode. Kyle's trying to get me to tell him what we're talking about. I said this is just Real Talk.
What are we talking about, Jimbo?
Real Talk number 7. So Kyle, let's start off with a question.
Answer me. Okay, give me any question you have, Jimbo. Any
Kyle,
question.
What have you been watching recently?
What have I been
watching
recently?
Movies, TV shows?
Oh my gosh, I have been down the rabbit hole of things I've been watching recently. I started as Better Call Saul ended like last month, so I started rewatching all of Breaking Bad, like going for like almost chronological order now, watching Breaking Bad. I'm on like season 2 where they just got Saul introduced. Actually, Saul just came back to the show, so I've been watching that. I started watching Stargate SG-1 for the first time.
For the first time? It's a good series.
It's a good series, and there's like 10 seasons of it, or 11, I can't remember. And I started watching that as well. So I watched like the first couple episodes of that, and that show goes a lot of places in the first season, apparently. I didn't know. Apparently the first season's bad. I didn't know that. But I'm still going to stick with that and write all that. Movie-wise, gosh, what have I been watching? Oh, wait, even more TV shows, actually. I got the latest season of Archer, latest season of What We Do in the Shadows, and Rick and Morty, watching all those things. She-Hulk. So I haven't...
She-Hulk. What's your thoughts on She-Hulk? I only watched the first episode.
Oh, you only watched the first episode? I think it's excellent, and I hope to see more stuff about it. I kind of wish... sometimes I guess like the Disney Plus shows have been hit or miss for me in this one, and this one's like, man, I wish this was just the film altogether. Like, I kind of wish there was a big screen She-Hulk movie now, because I think the show is so good.
I think she looks fantastic.
I think so too. I understand where a lot of people who are criticizing some of the CG work are coming from, but it's also completely unreasonable. So
do you like how she breaks the fourth wall and talks to the cameras like Deadpool?
Absolutely, no? I think it's in keeping with the comic book entirely. You know, like She-Hulk has always been a fourth wall breaking comic book character, so I think that silly stands of her character too, and being the lawyer stuff, and also kind of making fun of the MCU a little bit is a good trend going on. I think in the current movies and the TV shows, like poking fun at them a little bit is good, because people are taking it too seriously now. So you need to reel them back a little bit. It's like, listen, guys, this is about dumb sci-fi monsters and fantasy. It's all kind of silly. So I think that's great. And like all the I love how this show has the after credits scenes after too. Like I love that as well, because they've been hilarious each time I've seen them. I think they're doing fascinating things with the Hulk, Bruce Banner's Hulk as well. Specifically trying to kind of reveal that like maybe there was more for him to deal with psychologically than he originally realized. And I think that's an interesting new page to turn, where it's like, hey, there's more Hulk stories to tell than we've, because originally, like the end of the Infinity War, I feel like at the end of Endgame, I feel like things were kind of wrapped up for the Hulk, and now they're kind of pulling up a new page, like, oh, these are actually interesting stories we can go down. So overall, the She-Hulk show I'm feeling very positive about. Same thing with Archer, Rick and Morty, and What We Do in the Shadows, and all the other shows I've been watching actually have been like really entertaining. So yeah, I've been able to make time for a lot of those things recently, and that's been nice. Movie-wise, I haven't been watching very much, actually, besides our podcast work, of course. Right. Yeah. Jimbo, how are you doing on TV shows and movies?
Like I said, I've watched Once Upon a Time. Started that. I've never seen it all the way through, so I just finished season 1, starting season 2. I've been watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I have never watched that, so just finished season 3 last night. Like I said, She-Hulk. Movies, I did watch Black Phone.
Black Phone. I've not.
The Ethan Hawke.
Oh, it's right. Yeah, I saw that.
Psychological thriller.
I haven't watched it myself yet. Is it good?
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not a horror movie. Well, I say that. It's more like a supernatural movie. I don't want to give any two spoilers away in case somebody needs to watch it. But
this might sound like somewhat of an insult. I always forget that Ethan Hawke exists.
Wow. Guess what? Really Ethan Hawke forgets you exist, Kyle. So it's feelings mutual.
Ethan Hawke never knew I existed.
Right.
But it's like, he's a fine actor. The movies he's in are pretty good. But I never even think about him outside of the movie. Like, as soon as I watch the movie, I forget Ethan Hawke exists. He could have just been any other actor in my mind. He's like a very weird straight man, like interchangeable with any other actor in my mind.
I watched Hear No Evil, See No Evil, which we just talked about, Stir Crazy. So I watched that one right after that. I watched, it's getting close to fall and Halloween, so I'm getting ready to start watching some more of the monster movies that I adore so much, and the horror films. I always like to watch Willow.
Yeah, classic.
Hey, our Jiminy Cricket's back.
Jiminy Crickets are back for this podcast.
Speaking of Jiminy Cricket, what about Pinocchio? Did you watch the new Pinocchio yet?
No, that looks terrible.
What?
That's Disney.
Tom Hanks?
Oh yeah, that looks awful. I mean, in general, like that live action remake of the Disney animated films have been all almost bad, like Beauty and the Beast. And
you didn't like them?
Oh no, I didn't like them. I don't like them at all.
Well, now that we're on that topic, I am going to bring it up, Kyle.
The Mermaid. We're going to talk about
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid
trailer dropped.
Yeah.
Little Mermaid is my favorite Disney cartoon. Mm-hmm. I think it looks fantastic. I know there's a lot of uproar about
racist making things weird.
Right,
yeah,
about
thing, of course.
Little Mermaid being African American.
Yeah,
I think she looks awesome. Personally.
Yeah. The only thing, like generally, you can gloss over the entire thing because it is just racist being absurd. So you can just kind of gloss over, just ignore them because they're terrible. The one thing I will say, it's weird that every single time they introduce a black character into a film for a remake or a remaster or something like that, they've always they choose the redhead character and then they replace him with a black character. I've noticed that trend a lot, and that's weird to me.
Well, what was the other one?
Gosh, I gotta
exactly. You don't know.
No, there has been a trend of doing that.
Somebody released. I'll show it to you when we're done on TikTok. Somebody released leaked footage of her singing more of "Part of the World." Mm-hmm. It's fantastic.
She's doing a fantastic job.
I'm going to be upset, though, if they change Sebastian's from red to blue. Okay, the crab.
Oh, yeah.
No.
That'd be weird.
I'm just saying that, people get too hung up on the color of skin. When the director said that she was the best person for the role, and from what I saw, she is. She looks fantastic. From the trailer I saw, it looks like they're staying true. As long as they stay true to the story, I don't care. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's when they go and they start changing the story around to fit the narrative that they want to fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when I start having a problem with it. You can cast who you want. I don't care as long as you're to the story. Mm-hmm. But I think she looks fantastic. I got chills watching it. It's my all-time favorite Disney cartoon, as I said.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see. I think it's May of next year, 2023.
I believe so. Yep.
I'm excited for it. Can't wait. Now, if they destroy it, I'm going to be upset. I will be crushed because it's a childhood favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's in general. I'm cautiously optimistic for it too. I've kind of felt the live action Disney remakes have it's either they're in a rock and a hard place for me to entertain me because I feel like they stick either too close to the original films or they stray way too far away in my mind, and I'd rather just go back to the animated movie in the first place when I watch that, or I want a new animated movie. I would rather take an animated movie from Disney any over the week over a lot of live action movies they make now. So having this little crossbreed kind of live action remake of these Disney animated movies feels like a monster in my eyes.
It's just a cash grab too.
Yeah, it feels soulless to me, uncreative.
Let me ask you this question: do you think that Disney casting Ariel as an African American woman, people are like, well, Disney's woke, they're doing the right thing by casting, or do you think it was just a cash grab on merchandise? Because you see what I'm saying?
I can't make that an either or statement. I can't do either one of those. I think
you
Disney
think it's both.
To an extent, yes. To an extent, yes, I would agree with that, actually. But, like, Disney historically is always, like, slightly progressive. That's then their kind of a whole identity. Like, they want to entertain kids and also be good enough for those kids when they're adults. That's kind of the idea. And they always kind of keep that mindset going forward at, like, 20-year increments of innovations. Like, they're never going to be, like, super woke in their mind. They're never going to have, like, really absurd things where it's just, like, imagine, like, far leftist speech. Disney's not going to echo those kind of things. We're saying time, like, they're never going to entertain far right speech. That's where they got, like, in huge trouble when they try to do, like they tried to cut some of the gay scenes out, like Buzz Lightyear, but then later got it in, like that. They got in hot water because all of a sudden conservatives were attacking them, and then also leftists were attacking them for not going left enough. So they always try and stay, like a little bit left of the center line politically is what they always trying to stay on. So, like, I don't see that as really a move to cast Ariel as a African American actor. I don't think that's a big thing either progressively. If you think that's a radical left thing, you might have to rethink your own politics a little bit. The idea of, like, you put a black person in the movie, oh, absurd. And, like, if that's radical left to you, then you need to rethink your politics.
Well, no, I think more of my comment of this was, do you think that Disney did that just for the merchandising of an African American toy line, as far as a Disney princess? I know they have the Princess and the Frog. What's her name? Tiana. I can't think of her name.
I do think they want to think, when it comes to merchandise, they do want to think more worldly and broader the diversification of their Disney princesses. That's a thing they definitely want to do.
Right.
They definitely want to have a more diverse lineup of Disney princesses to sell to all girls of all diversities.
Right.
So to that extent, yes, I'm sure it doesn't hurt them. They don't see that as a bad thing at all. So they if it wasn't like a directive, like, you have to cast an African American for Ariel, it just happened, like, we found a great actress that's African American.
Right.
They're up for the role of Ariel. It works out. So, like, it's once again how you kind of think of, like, how racist casting movies. Like, sometimes having a minority or a more diverse cast, like, counts as a little win in their eyes, but it's not like the main directive. They don't need it. So,
right. So on that note, the new Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
have
same
you
thing
watched
again.
any of the new Lord of the Rings?
I have not yet. I'll be honest, I've had very little interest in that show from the very start, and I have no particular reason why. I think it was just it's one of the things, like, they put all of the money to it in the world, and I just...
That was over $1 billion or something.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
they filmed all 5 seasons simultaneously. That's kind of things too. Like, they've done the whole show basically.
I really didn't have a lot of hope for it going into it. Mm-hmm. But I tell you what, after I watched the first 3 episodes, it's not bad, dude. You need to give it a shot. But I know people are upset there too, because some of the Hobbit, well, I call them Hobbits, but they're the ancestors of the Hobbits. I forgot what they were called. Mm-hmm. They've cast some African American actors in that too, and people are blowing up on that. They're like, but if you go back and look what Tolkien wrote, they were dark skinned, their ancestors. So people need to relax, dude. It's just hobbits are not real. Guess what? Mermaids aren't real. Oh well, some people say they are. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, people need to relax, man. It's just a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am enjoying it. I cannot wait for The Little Mermaid. I can't wait to see where The Hobbit goes, because when I watch a movie or I watch a TV show, I don't look at race. You know what I mean? I don't look at the color of the skin of the people. I look at the plot line.
Yeah. How
do they draw me into the movie? Like The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
When I got drawn in by Will Smith's character and his little boy, you know what I mean? It's heartbreaking. It's crushing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I do recognize it is a change. Like, even, like, as early as, like, less than 20 years ago, like, so many films, predominantly white males, are part of the, like, the important cast. The characters who actually talk about things that aren't just, like specific to their race or their or their love interest, something like that. So, like, it is a change in Hollywood to have more movies, like, just recognize diversity and just, like, welcome it in without thinking about it. That is a change of things, and I understand, like, there is a culture shock to that. It's like, I understand, like, you feeling uncomfortable, but it's also, like, that's something you need to personally overcome, because, like, that's not film's fault. Like, well, it's film's fault for doing it poorly in the past, but now correcting the future. Like, this is the new status quo that should be recognized. Like, yes, like, people exist, especially in fiction stories of fantasy and other kind of stuff like Little Mermaid, Rings of Power, something like that too. Like if you're doing like historical like documentary or something like that, or historical fiction that does take place in a largely in an area that was dominated by some specific ethnicity, then like you can criticize a film for not recognizing that properly. But like everything else, you can kind of do whatever you want when it comes to diversity of the cast. And having a more diverse cast makes it more appealing for broader audiences and a global audience that we have now. And that's a good thing overall. That means you're like, that means your kids get exposed to more, more diversity and everything too. Gets them more comfortable with the things that you're uncomfortable with. Right. So I think that's overall positive change.
And it breaks my heart. I'm happy for it, but it breaks my heart that when, let's say you go on TikTok and people are posting the reaction videos to their children seeing the Little Mermaid as an African American, and they're like, "Oh, she looks like me."
Yeah, they have a new icon. They have their first time. Yeah,
it's heartbreaking to me that it's taken so long for this to happen. First of all, you know what I mean. Yeah. But for me, if Disney, there's people that are in the camp that if Disney really wanted to gain momentum, that they would come up with
a new character
instead of trying to reinvent. I don't want to say reinvent the wheel, but to recast because of the popularity of what they've done, to remake it to fit the audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I agree with that too.
I think they do need to come up with something
and
new.
That's also where like it's the double-edged sword of the center line progressive left a little bit, like the just left of like center line politics is like instead of making a new character who is a African American, well just black because like it goes beyond America, right? Just a black character who like is their own and stands up on their own as a Disney princess who is just as recognizable as or important as the other Disney princesses, like. That would be better. I think that would be more progressive. But then there is the economic reality to it. Like, okay, if you use an existing brand, you'll make 10 times as much money
because
immediately
because people
already know the brand.
Right.
So, like, is it better to shove? Shove is a hard word, but is it better to put a more diverse cast in a movie that already had force a more diverse cast in a movie that had a predominantly white cast, and then like say like, hey, this is still the same brand, but now it's more diverse. That makes more money for Disney, which is what they want, which that's why they do it. But it still would be better if like they could make something that is more diverse as a new thing and have that still stand on its own. But it's like it's a rock and a hard place because like is the answer like, well, people want a Little Mermaid live action movie, but you can't just make that as well as make a new black led Disney princess movie at the same time necessarily. Disney could, but like still like you're making two movies instead of making just one, so that's doubling the budget immediately. And then immediately when that movie fails or doesn't get the same marketing it gets, and then you say like, oh, because you didn't market it right, that's why it wasn't successful. So it's just like every single move you make to try and do the right thing, you're gonna have shortcomings. So it's better to just kind of accept like, okay, you did this, and this has to be enough for you at the end of the day because no answer was going to be positive. No answer was going to be perfect.
Right.
In my mind, it feels like a mess trying to explain this right now, and I feel bad about that because I wish I could do a better job of conveying my thoughts on that. But it's just like no scenario would have been perfect for you to like say like because even if you were just like okay, I wish they didn't replace Ariel with a black actress. I wish I just had a black character come in and be an independent character on their own. But it's like but no one would have saw that black character, and at the end of the day, no one would have gone for that black character, because they don't have the same history and all the iconography, but Little Mermaid does have it. So you get to have the best of both worlds for Disney in that case, and it's a mess. It's messy, unfortunately. As all things in life, it's messy culturally.
Right.
And you just kind of try and see like, what can we do afterwards about it?
But we are.
Yeah. And I hope
taking steps into the right.
Yeah, I think we are taking steps in the right direction.
I just hope, like you just said, I just hope the movie's good. If it's anything like I thought the Beauty and the Beast one was good. I'm trying to think of the other one. Mulan, not so much.
Yeah, I didn't.
But to me, like they cut out Mushu or whatever from that. You know what I mean? So to me, as long as if they cut out Sebastian, we're gonna have a pop because he's my favorite sidekick of all the things. Yeah. You know what I mean? And as well as Flounder. I think I saw Flounder swimming around, but I just hope it's good for one, and I hope it gets all the praise and accolades that it deserves. But I hope it opens the door for future. Movies and future princesses and all that too.
And I think it will. And like this is Disney. I mean, they're a steamroller. They'll be successful even when they make bad decisions.
Yeah, even when they don't make $1 billion, they'll still be fine.
Yeah. In general, like I said, like once again, like keep uttering the same word. Like it's messy. Like the Milan reboot wasn't quite as good as I wanted it to be, but also the Milan cartoon has problems about it that like I kind of struggle to like identify and commit to. Something like to. It's like okay. When these people are saying like Milan's bad for X, Y, and Y reason, I have nothing to say. But like you're right. And the Milan reboot corrected those things, and it's like but the movie still sucks.
Do you think that Disney's having a hard time coming up with original ideas, so they're just banking on what has already been successful for them to help gather revenue?
Oh yeah, I think they're trying to remix their existing properties. They're not trying to have any original ideas anymore. That's been going on for since I've been born. How many unique properties I want to make outside of like Toy Story. I mean, really, besides Pixar making their own independent movies,
the live-action Toy Story coming soon.
Give it 20 years, it'll be here. And Tom Hanks will still be there. Oh god, a live-action Toy Story doesn't sound impossible.
Not only that, but Tim Allen will be Buzz Lightyear, but they'll have Chris Pratt doing his voice.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Can you imagine?
That's the darkest timeline.
Kyle, also now we're going to jump away.
Okay,
we're not really jumping.
We need to move on from that talk because it's just too much.
Right. I mean, we could sit here and talk all day about the shortcomings of the movie, but there's also been a new trailer released for Willow, the Disney Plus series.
Okay, I've not checked out the latest trailer for it.
Oh, okay. I posted it on the Facebook page.
Tell me anything about it, though.
No, I didn't really watch it. I just saw it. I posted it.
So I know it exists.
Well, no, I don't, because Willow is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's going to be hard for me if they mess it up with a series. You know how they do. So I don't, but I also want to keep myself from spoilers too, because I don't want to see too much of it without watching it, because I want to be excited for it.
Yeah.
Because the greater the excitement, the greater the disappointment. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Of course. You set yourself to fail.
Right.
Classic Jimbo.
So that's coming, I believe, in November this year. So I'm looking forward to that.
And I agree. I hope it's good too. I hope all these films.
Kyle, have you watched any of the new Game of Thrones House of the Dragon?
I have not yet. I don't know when I will. I don't have HBO Max, so I don't watch a lot of HBO stuff right now. But probably when the season's over, I might check out the whole thing, binge it, kind of like that. Might buy it and binge it. Because I've heard nothing but good things so far, but we'll see how it goes. I wonder how much control George R. R. Martin has over this show versus Game of Thrones last time, because I know like he wanted to go for like 10 seasons of the last show, but they were like, no, we're doing 7.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's trying to get more of a game of
we only consider 6 of them. Those last 3 episodes are terrible.
Was it like 2 half seasons technically? I don't remember. I always hate when a show does that. For our last season, it's actually going to be 2 half seasons, but also these half seasons are like 8 episodes instead of 6. Like, well, what are you even doing?
It's interesting seeing King's Landing and all that way, like, I think it's 197 years before Daenerys Targaryen, and actually focus on House Targaryen. It's interesting to see. It also has some of the characters, I say family names like Starks, Lannisters. They're all
the dynamic has changed immensely,
right? But I mean, it's mostly about House Targaryen, and they throw in some ancestors of the people that made the first show so famous, or the book so famous. So, anything else, Kyle?
I will say one pet peeve I always have in all kind of fantasy shows or all fantasy media in general. It always bothers me when they go like 500 years or 500 years in the past to the future, and technology did nothing.
True.
It's like, and I get it. It's a fantasy world. That's the whole point of it. It has to stay a fantasy world forever. That's the whole idea. 1,000 years after Game of Thrones ends, they're still gonna have like just the wall and swords. Or 2,000 years before it, they have all the same stuff. But it always bothered me in games like Fable. It was like, we're going 500 years in the future. Like, they invented a crossbow. 500 years? How sad! Everyone in this world is dumb, apparently.
Also, in case you didn't hear, the Resident Evil series was axed by Netflix.
Oh, yes. I think for good.
They just need to relax on that for about 20 years. You know what I mean?
I feel bad because I was excited for those productions after they did the Mila Jovovich series of Resident Evil movies.
I like those movies.
I think they're dumb and great. I enjoy them so much.
I like her as an actress.
I don't remember if I told this story before, but I watched like the first like 3 movies and I enjoyed them, and I just completely fell off. It was like, whatever. They're schlock. They're fine. I'll get to them when I get to them. But one time I had the opportunity where I watched the last movie, and there was a zombie dragon fighting Mila Jovovich in a Hummer. And I was like, what is going on? I need to know why there's zombie dragons. And so I went and I bought all the films, watched them all back to back, and I finally got back to the last film. And let me tell you, they never explained zombie dragons. Which I thought was the best excuse ever.
I don't think they explained a lot of stuff in those movies.
Anything. But the last movie, there's just zombie dragons, and she fights it with a claymore. It's great. It's so good. So good. But as soon as the Mila Jovovich movies ended, back to the subject, Capcom was like, oh yeah, we're going to do more movies immediately. I'm like, oh cool. Maybe you actually know, like, hey, we can make serious money off these Resident Evil movies. Let's invest in doing these movies right and make good movies. And they didn't.
If they would have just took the original video game and shot it shot for shot and made it a movie, it would have been one of the best video game movies of all time.
Maybe not shot for shot, but very close.
Right, you know what I'm saying.
There's a whole lot. Yeah, like I know.
The
first Resident Evil would have been really good.
In the Netflix thing, they did have some of the iconic shots of like the zombie when you walk in and he turns around and looks at him. You know,
all those shots.
Yes, but I'm just saying if we would have had that in the first Mila Jovovich movie too, if they would have done just, why do you have to add stuff to something that the whole computer animated? Mm-hmm. What was it, Alice was her name or whatever, you know?
Oh,
what I mean?
the Alice, the kid, the computer AI system.
Right.
In the movie,
Well, why do you have to add this stuff? You know what I mean? It was fine the way it is. You've got zombies.
They should have done what like Resident Evil 7 did with its kind of reboot and stuff like that too. Where it's like you trim off all the fat and the baggage from the older Resident Evil games, and you go back to basics and make that core zombie film that was really cool with the mansion and the secret lab in the tunnel, all kinds of things. Like that is a crazy movie to make now. That's a crazy story to tell in any generation. I love it. And it's like, why don't you just do that? But instead it's like, welcome to Raccoon City, or like, watch this Resident Evil, animated show, which apparently was supposed to take place after the games, but also had Wesker still alive. It's like, what are you doing with this whole storyline? And it's like they really just dropped the ball entirely, or if they ever had it in the first place. It was like, wow, like you needed to tell the simple part of the Resident Evil story, which is good, and try and get the logical sense kind of cleared up so it all makes sense to watch it now, because like Resident Evil now is a mess of things. So it's like they should have just tried to do a full kind of like, hey, let's kind of reboot it for the movie era and like make that narrative fit in a movie. And it's like they just really mess that up in a way that confounds me, because it's like, why would you mess this up so bad when you had such a simple premise to start from and make a good movie from? It's confusing. Like they could have and should have done better, and it disappoints me immensely. Yeah,
Kyle,
we'll see how it goes.
Are you excited for Halloween Ends?
Yes, when we did the TV movie list, I actually just watched Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills was the Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends is the last one. I just watched Halloween Kills for the first time just like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, because I didn't get a chance to see it in the theaters because I was sick the weeks it was out, and I just, by the time I felt better. I did. I liked it a lot.
Because Evil Dies Tonight? Yeah. That whole hospital scene where the whole town is like pitchforks, like Frankenstein going after, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they surround him, man, and he just murders everybody.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Toasters and everything.
It was so good. It is a great audience pleaser moment of just like oh hey, we're gonna go full on and like Michael Myers being kind of a demon right now. It's like, oh cool. So yeah, I really appreciate that a lot. And we're just the first encounter with like the nurse and the doctor and the other 2 people, and like that first encounter where they basically killed themselves by accident trying to kill Michael Myers was very humorous, and also really good for like classic slasher movie, like being absurd but also being terrifying. And I feel like they had a good mix of both those things going on in that film that I really appreciated, right. And also hitting some good drama beats that I felt were emotionally moving.
I've said it before on this podcast, I'm going to say it again. I just want an hour and a half of Michael and Laurie just going to town on each other.
I think that's exactly what we're going to get to.
And at the end, I want Laurie's I think it's her granddaughter. I want her to either kill Michael and then pick up the mask and put it on, just so you can continue Halloween with a new female version of Michael Myers. Which, if you think about it, I don't think that we've had a female
slasher.
Exactly. Yeah. There is a new Pinhead that's a female coming out.
I'm excited for that. Hellraiser interesting, is always an interesting series in my mind, just because that has cosmic horror in it, which is always kind of interesting to see in films, especially with a slasher villain. Right. If you did only have like one slasher you could pick to be like, like rebooted in the same way that Halloween Ends is kind of doing it right now, who do you think you'd actually pick? Just curious.
For what?
Which other slasher right now would you like to see, given the kind of like Halloween the current Halloween treatment right now that's kind of getting not almost a requel to an extent, but like I don't know if it would be like, for me I might say Freddy Krueger be my kind of character.
What?
Like,
speaking of this, did you see who Robert Englund said he would want to take over? Kevin Bacon as Freddy Krueger.
I think even now he's too old for the role. Maybe.
I don't know. I think he might be able to do it. But, Jason's always been my favorite. But I'm not sure I want to see him. I don't know if I want to see him in a new.
Last I heard, I'm pretty sure like Friday the 13th was still having a huge rights problem right now with the original creators and like the movie studios. And I don't even know what's happening.
Child's Play with Chucky has the TV show.
Yeah. Oh, they just did the movie too, and I think the movie and the TV show are both actually pretty good on their own.
So I would guess I would have to say
Mike Myers again.
Well, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre just had that Netflix movie. Have you watched that?
I heard that was awful.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't? Okay.
I watched it. I mean, you take it for what it is. You know what I mean? A lot of blood, a lot of just cutting up people.
Which is what you want.
Yeah, it was really interesting. You need to watch that so we can get people's thoughts on that. But maybe what I would like to see is
Lawnmower Man.
Wow. Wow, you pulled that one way out there. No, but I'd like to, like we talked about in a couple episodes ago on the podcast, is an anthology of The Fog. When Carpenter was wanting to do that, where different things came out of the fog and to tie it all back into the story. I started watching The Fog from 2005, I think, with Tom Welling and all them people. It's not very good. From I've only started it about 20 minutes in, but 20 or half hour in, it's just not very good.
Yeah. One thing I would like to, I just occurred to me now is like probably like in the era of the requel kind of like movies going on now of like acknowledging the first one and doing a sequel. Like maybe The Thing actually I think would be kind of cool to see. Like
it would be cool.
Actually going back to the burnt out station for the first time in like 30 years and having that thing get rediscovered would be kind of cool. Like it was frozen in the waste and now we have to fight the alien again. That'd be kind of cool. I think that'd be an interesting story to tell. Possibly will happen in the future.
Maybe.
Beetlejuice.
Maybe Aliens. I think Aliens would be a good one to make a comeback.
Yeah.
I would say. I would also, what I'd really like to see too, and I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I'd like to see what they could do with a reboot of Jaws.
Ooh, Jaws.
Just from all the new stuff they can do with CGI, and I think it could be really good.
Yeah, I feel like
or Gremlins. I think a TV series on Gremlins would be fun too.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a shame because I feel like in the way movies have gotten so much bigger now, I feel like it's hard to sell Jaws as enough now, and that's so sad. Like the current $300 million movies and all kind of stuff too. You can't make a movie about one giant shark being it. So like even like the last shark movie like The Meg having to be a megalodon and having to fight that thing, and like it was Jason Statham having the kung fu.
It was just Meg Ryan coming up
Meg Ryan out of the water. Yeah, and it was like that's what Jaws has to be now to be a successful movie in my mind, and like that's so sad because like movies like Jaws just can't get made anymore.
Sharknado.
Right now. Like maybe in some other decade. Jaws will be a movie that's like viable, but I don't know anymore. So, okay.
All right. I think we've rattled on long enough for this real talk. So, hope everybody's doing okay. Has a great day. So, with that being said, I think this real talk episode's coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.